Welcome to Getting Started with Moodle 2 for Instructors, Part 2. In this part of the Getting Started for Instructors, we're going to take a look at activities in Moodle. If you'll recall, in Part 1 we did a general overview of Moodle and talked about resources. And the four fundamental resources that you will use to get started building your course are the file, label, page, and URL resources. In this screencast, we're going to take a look at the activities. And you can see here I'm logged into a course as an instructor and I have editing on. So we have our drop downs here for activities. So we're just going to click this drop down. And you can see there is a wide range of activities available to you as an instructor. We're going to focus today just on 3 activities: the assignments, the forums, and the quizzes. Those should get you up and running and off the ground, and with those you can actually build a complete course that has social elements, that has evaluation and assessment elements, and assignments for your users to complete. So between the combination of the resources and the activities, the 4 resources, 3 activities, you can actually build a full-featured course that is engaging for your participants. So the first activity I'd like to take a look at right now is adding a forum. And so we're going to go down to our first topic here, click the drop down, and click on the forum activity. And these are discussion boards. They are called forums here. And we have to give it a name. We have to give every activity we engage in a name. So this is our test forum. And you can see here we have several forum types to select from. Standard forum for general use is the default. If you click the little help icon, the question mark, that will bring up a small box that tells you what the different types of forums are. There's Q&A forum, standard forums, and simple discussions. For our purpose right now, we're just going to stick with the standard forum. You have to introduce the forum to your participants, so we'll do a quick introduction here. And once we've got our introduction, you can go down here and you can see we can again display the description on the course page, so we'll just tick that on for now. The subscription mode, if you again click on the help here, you can see there are 4 possible subscription modes. You can actually force all of your participants to be subscribed, which if you want to make them get the email from the forum post, you can do that. You can leave it optional, which for most forums I believe people are doing, is leaving it optional and up to the participant or learner to choose that. And auto-subscribe, and then disabled subscriptions. But we're going to leave it optional for now. Read tracking I find to be a very handy thing, and we're going to turn that on. And what read tracking means is that it will flag new messages in the forum for your participants so they can quickly visually see what is new in the forum and then go and read those. Maximum file attachment size, again we have a drop-down box here. We're going to set that to 5 megabytes. And the maximum number of attachments we're probably going to knock down to, let's say 2. We're not blocking, we're not setting any time things here, we're not grading this forum, and we're going to ignore all the activity completion ones, and we'll talk about those at a future time, and we're going to save and display the forum. And you can see here this forum is for you to use to describe the various elements of X. That's all I could come up with right now. And then our participants go in, click the Add New Discussion Topic. You've all been through this process from the participant or learner end, so you know what happens next. We click the button and it brings up a page that allows us to create a discussion topic, and just for kicks we're going to do a test post here. Theoretically your participants are going to give you posts that are a little more informative and engaging than what I've created. But you can now see I have 30 minutes left to edit this if I want to make changes, so there is that window of time where participants can go back and actually make a change to the post before it becomes essentially written in stone. And now we have a discussion in the forum, and if you click on the discussion here, you can see there's the post and again the process of replying. So that in a nutshell is the basics of creating a forum. The challenge becomes in managing and maintaining the forum, and that's a little bit out of the scope of this screencast. Facilitating discussions and drawing out discussions and managing them is a whole other topic unto itself. but this will at least give you the ability to create that forum, and we've provided some resources that talk about managing and engaging in social interactions in forums. So let's take a look at adding a quiz, and we're going to click our drop down here again. We're going to go to quiz and select that. Quizzes initially are a little more complicated to set up. They demand a little bit more of you, and it helps to plan these things out ahead of time. I'm sure you know that. And again, we're going to give this the excitingly creative name of test quiz. And again, display the description on the course page. We're not going to worry about that. Again, we can link the quiz to specific times to open and close. And just for security's sake, we're going to have it open yesterday and close a week from today. So we select 15, and we're good to go there. We can set a time limit to take the quiz if we want. We're not going to do that right now. You can allow a certain number of attempts to get a grade, passing grade. We're going to knock that down to 2. And the grade category we don't worry about. Layout is fine. The defaults here are mostly fine. The one thing you want to pay attention to is the question behavior. Shuffle within questions can be somewhat confusing if you're setting up matching or multiple choice. I generally turn that off. And then the review options are there, display, and you can again restrict attempts. We're not going to bother with that right now. You need to provide some overall feedback for grade boundaries, so 100%. And we save and display. And here is the quiz. Now, at this point it's a quiz with no questions, so it's not very useful. And you can see it's telling us no questions have been added. So we're going to edit the quiz. And this takes us to the question tool. So we're going to add a question. And this opens up a dialog box that lets us choose the type of question to add. And you can do some maths here if you'd like. Essays, which of course need manual grading. Matching, multiple choice, short answer matching, random matching, true and false. We're just going to pick the easiest one right now, which is a true and false. And we're going to go next. And this will take us to the actual question setup page. And we're going to call it alright, this is our question name. And we make create a question here. And general feedback for the question is there, the default mark. And the correct answer, this is where we set whether true or false. And it happens to be true today that the sun is shining outside my window. And then we give some feedback for that. And theoretically you spell correctly and have punctuation and all that good stuff. For false we might say look again. And penalty for each incorrect try. Tags we're not going to worry about here. We're going to save our changes. And go back, and here we have our quiz question. Now, we can edit this question. You can go back in and change it if you want with pretty much everything here. We can also copy the question, clone it, and then just add a new question to it. But true-false questions are very simple just to create, so cloning those is not all that necessary. And again, we can go on adding questions. You can do matching questions. And I would suggest the best way to learn about this is to go in and explore it. Add a few questions, try a few different types, and see what works for you. You can get very thorough and complicated evaluations or assessments here if you take time and care in building your question. So that, again, is a quiz, and we're just going to go back to our main page. And the final resource type we want to take a look at is the assignment. So we're going to click the drop down here. And if you look at the assignments, you have some subcategories under or subtypes under assignment. advanced uploading of files, online text, upload a single file, offline activity, and then Mahara portfolio. We're not going to discuss Mahara quite yet, so we're going to sideline that one. The simplest type and one of the more commonly used one is a single file upload. This is where you might provide a template for your users, a Word template or some sort of document template for your users to fill in. You might want them to take a picture of something and then upload it. So they upload a single file assignment type. It looks like this. And again, here we are giving it a name. And for this, we just want them to try the system out. So we're going to say, please upload a file. And they should be able to upload, and you might want to specify here, most standard types, JPEG, Word, Doc, are accepted. When you get into more exotic file types, you may have an issue with that. So if you're going to have them uploading more exotic file types, you might want to check with us and make sure that that's allowed to the system. We do regulate the file types that are allowed just to have a degree of security in our system. And again, it's an assignment, so we have our due dates. And again, we're going to backdate this one just for fun. And we can prevent late submissions, so we want to do that. We don't want anyone coming in after the period. Grade is 100. We can change that if we click this drop down. You can see there are some scales, and you can take a look at those scales if you want. You can do an A, B, C, D grade, satisfactory, not satisfactory, need improvement. You can also have ungraded assignments. We're going to stick with 100. Now, do we want to allow resubmitting? Do we want to give them a second pass? We can turn that on or off here. Do we want to email us when something has been submitted? And sure we do. We want to know when our participants are actually engaging in the activities. And again, here's a drop down to set the maximum file size. Depending on the file type, 1-2 megabytes might do it. If it's going to be an image or something, you might want to bump it up to 10 just to be safe. So we're going to go back here and save and display. And now we have an assignment called Please Upload a File. And we can see here from our instructor privileges that no attempts have been made on this assignment. Now that is the instructor view. You've all had experience with the participant view of the file upload assignment. So we're not even going to go into that right now. We're going to take a look at, you can also do an online text assignment, and that again is going to provide your participants with the embedded text editor and allow them to create some text online. So let's just quickly make one of those. And you would give them a fairly complete description of what you're hoping for in their text. Style, pointers, you know, the whole 9 yards. You want to be as thorough and complete as possible here because you want assignments that are submitted that meet your criteria so that you can effectively evaluate them. And again, availability, course description is displayed on the course page, so on and so forth. Do we want to allow? Do we want to email? Pretty standard across the assignment types. So we're going to save and display that assignment type. And you can see here is write something here. No attempts have been made on this assignment. Now, if our participants were making attempts on the assignment, we would click that, and we would come in here and see that Fred Flintstone has attempted the assignment and what grade did they get, so on and so forth. Let's just pop back to our main page. So you can see we've populated the first topical area with some activities and assignments. If we want to move these around, shift the order. Again, we just click and hold the mouse key down and it highlights the activity, and we're going to drop it down into topic 2. And it's just that simple to move things between topics in your course. You can also see you have a ×2 icon here, and that will duplicate the assignment. So if you were going to do similar type assignments for each of your topics, you could just duplicate them and just ask me to confirm that I want to duplicate it. We can then go in and edit the assignment, and we might want to do that. write something new here, we'll say, because why not? Again, and we would, if we were moving this to the next week, we would want to change the due date, make it available from the 16th, and have it close down on the 22nd. Gives them a week to complete this assignment. We're going to go in and save this and return to our course. And now we're going to take that assignment, and because we didn't change the name, we have to double check, and we might want to edit that just for clarity's sake. We'll call this text assignment 2. And again, now that we've got our text assignment 2, we want to move that down. So we're going to take that and drop it down in here. So in this way you can create a number of consistent assignments across your different topics or weeks of your course. With a text assignment I may want to ask for different things, but I can just clone that and then edit both the name and the body description of the assignment. And it's just a fairly rapid way to create these things. So I've taken more time than I thought I would, so we'll stop here. Again, it's not an extensive discussion of these tools, and it doesn't dig into some of the other ones, which are very interesting, but for more advanced development, this should give you hopefully enough to get you off the ground and running with a first, at least, test course that you can set up and then have people try out. So for today, we're just going to stop right here, and there will of course be more of these coming.